Hey guys, it's Shara from Woodshop Diaries, and today I'm going to show you how I use my scrap wood from my last project to build these two lattice planter boxes. Oh, hot. Hey guys, it's Shara from Woodshop Diaries, and today I'm going to show you how I built these two planter boxes. If you happen to catch my last project, I built an outdoor hammock stand, and I had some scraps left over of treated lumber, and I don't typically use treated lumber a lot in my shop, so I was trying to figure out a way to get rid of it without just throwing it away. Ended up having enough scraps creatively to build two of these little planter boxes, and I'm going to show you how they came together in this video. I really love a good scrap wood project, so I hope that you guys will enjoy this too, and if you're ready to get building, let's go. After my latest hammock stand build, I had several treated wood scraps that would very likely never have a use for unless I specifically made plans for them. I don't work with treated lumber a lot, and there wasn't much left to make anything very big, but nonetheless, I hated to throw away what I did have left over. So I laid out what I had on my workbench and started brainstorming some options. The goal was to use as much of these scraps as I could, but not require anything additional, as I wasn't planning to buy any more wood for whatever I made. I had two 8-foot long 5/4 decking boards that I had purchased extra for the deck part of the hammock stand, several offcuts of the same size, some random 1x2s, 2x6s, and two lattice panels. I decided on two planter boxes, and I could use the leftover lattice for trellises on the backside. I knew I wasn't going to have enough wood to make a bottom on the boxes, so I purchased some cheap plastic window boxes to actually hold the dirt. The wooden part of these planter boxes would basically just be a facade to hide the plastic pot. So I measured the window boxes and began cutting down the pieces to make the box to cover it. Okay, so basically I don't have enough 1x6 to do like 4 sides of a box to go around these planter boxes. But what I'm gonna do is build this like half box deal, and then I'm going to put some like 1x2s up the side to stick the lattice onto the back side of it. Now that I've cut down all my 1x6s for the actual box at the bottom, this is all the 1x6 I have left. I think I can get 3 strips out of this board, and I need 4 total. I have this 2x6 here, and I think I can cut the 4th like 1x2 just by ripping a strip off of the edge of this. That's my plan. So anyway, let's get cutting. With a plan in my head, I began cutting down the remaining 5/4 by 6 decking board into 3 strips, basically the equivalent of 1x2s. And then I ripped a 4th piece off of the 2x6. Each planter boxes needed 2 of these, so I needed 4 total. Then I began assembling the box. I screwed together a partial box with a front and 2 sides, and then I assembled another just like it. Then I just screwed these together by quote-unquote toe-nailing them, which is basically just driving a screw at an angle like you see here. You could also use pocket holes and screws, or use some like wood slats on the inside of the box to attach them together. There are a lot of options here. Once the partial box was assembled, I trimmed the 1x2 pieces down to the height of the lattice panels and screwed them into the back side of the box. Ideally, I would have liked to have a solid back at the bottom here, but I didn't have enough lumber, so you can definitely add that if you wanted. I just didn't want to have to buy any more wood. I measured, cut, and screwed another 1x2 piece to go along the top between these two pieces, then prepared to trim the lattice panel. By some miracle, the lattice panel was almost the exact same size as the frame that I was planning to mount it to. I absolutely didn't plan that, and I expected to have to trim it down some. What a pleasant surprise. If, however, you did need to trim it, you can use a circular saw or a jigsaw to do so. I prefer a jigsaw as the staples you are likely to hit in the lattice can screw up a blade, and jigsaw blades are really cheap to replace. Anyway, I simply screwed the lattice onto the back side of this 1x2 frame in several places around the edges. It's helpful to pre-drill here as this thin lattice tends to split pretty easily. I hadn't thought to test fit the plastic boxes until now, and I was glad to find out that they did in fact fit. Now, at this point, I built the second one just like it and evaluated the lumber that I had remaining. The long piece of 2x6 that I ripped my fourth 1x2 from earlier could still be of some use here. So I ripped it in half and added the pieces on top of each trellis. I simply screwed these into the top of the frame. I wanted to add some extra details to use up the rest of the wood, but all of my remaining pieces were too short for any of my ideas. So I did end up with a few short blocks of 2x6 and 2 small 1x pieces left that will make their way to the trash bin. Sad day. But the vast majority of these scraps now have a new life in my garden. I'm going to try some viney flowering plants this season, and maybe next year use it for sweet peas or tomatoes. If you're interested in building your own, I will link the plans in the description below along with a materials list. I know that you may not be building with scraps, so I'll include a list of what you'd need if you're building from scratch too. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like more where that came from, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on what's coming next. Thanks so much for watching, friends, and until next time, happy building!